Hey guys, coming at you with another fidget spinner review, and this is going to be the third spinner from the nice people at banggood.com. This one's going to be a little bit different kind of review. I've had some really great comments coming in from you guys suggesting improvements to my videos and things you'd like to have me do and not do. So I'm all about positive critiquing of my videos. So yeah, before I even got started off, I want to give a big shout out to two guys who really gave me some constructive criticism that I think I needed. Like the avid picker, he was really interested in seeing how the strobe effect or the warp effect is done to a fidget spinner, and it turns out it's pretty easy to figure out. I looked up on YouTube, found a video for it, how to do it. I'm gonna post a little bit of the video I shot in my front yard, and I'll post a link to the actual video that I learned how to do it from. It's going to be down there in the description box below the video, or if you're seeing this on Facebook, it'll be up there in the post box. So it was pretty straightforward. You need lots of sunlight. You need to have your camera set to 30 frames a second, and fortunately for me, or unfortunately for me, my phone is so old that it only films at 30 frames a second, so I didn't really have to do any changes. But some of the newer phones will film at 60 frames a second, and that will throw off the strobe effect. So that's the two main things. You need to have lots of light, and you need your camera set to 30 frames per second. So you'll see the effect that I've got from down there below me. I may play it at the same time I'm talking about this, so I can say thank you to the avid picker. And the other person who was kind enough to send me some really detailed instructions and tips is I hope I'm saying his name right. Is it Eriker, E-R-I-K-E-R, or it might be Riker or Eriker Zangum Ragnarok. Say that 3 times real fast. Yeah. So anyway, want to give him a great big shout out too. Thank you for all the tips. I'm trying to incorporate all of them into this new video style, and hopefully you guys will get more benefit out of these videos and you will like them. If you don't like them, please let me know as well. But I'm going to try to stop the running off topic type stuff. So to start off with, this is the third spinner they sent me from banggood.com. The nice guy I'm talking to through emails named Amar, and he sent me a package of 3, so I said I'd do 3 videos for him. And this one is called the 4 Corners Gear Spinner, and right now it's actually on sale till June the 30th. It is 31% off. It's normally $19.99 on banggood.com, and it includes free shipping, but the price right now till the 30th is $13.89. And right off the bat, I think you get a pretty good deal for what you're spending. I didn't look at the price till I actually started writing notes for the video, and I was surprised. I really thought this was going to be a $30 or maybe even maybe up to $40 spinner, just because of the weight of it, the construction, the way it feels. And I don't know, this is my very first metal gear spinner. You can see this other one down here. This is a plastic one, and normally I don't put a competitor's spinner in the video, but I kind of wanted to do a comparison. One of the biggest things is this one right here cost me around $14, $15 including shipping, and it's made out of plastic. It does spin decently. I mean, it's got a nice strobe effect to it, but the thing is, the gears do not turn. This is all plastic spinner except for the bearings, and trying to turn this without breaking it, it feels like it may want to strip out. So just wanted to show you what you're getting if you get one of these plastic ones, that it is not designed for the outside gears to really turn unless you manually turn them. It will not spin with the main hub, as opposed to this one. This one does spin with the main hub. If you spin it, you can't really see it. I'll have to stop this and turn this by hand, but as you can see, all the gears do turn. They freely turn. So that was really surprising. I wasn't expecting it to actually spin this easily. I want to show you the packaging real quick on this, to kind of keep this in a sequential order here. It comes packaged like this with the gear in the center fitted into the cutout. It's got a nice foam padding inside there. The only drawback I found, it kind of a negative thing, is that it was pretty banged up. You can't see it really on the back here. There are some dings and some dents. May have happened during shipping, because it did come in a bubble wrapped package, envelope that is. And the biggest thing to me was the barcode across the front viewing plate, the plastic opening there. So if you want to use this to show off your spinner, you're going to have to get some Goo Gone or something and get this barcode off. I haven't tried to take it off myself, but it's going to be a little bit of effort to get it off there. So yeah, let's get out of the way. Other than that, I found this to be a pretty decent spinner, a good spinner for the money. This is a fairly heavy spinner. It comes in at 110 grams, which is 3.88 ounces. So it is heavy. It is fairly big, so if you've got small hands, you may have problems spinning it vertical like this. The length on it from here to here is 5.8 centimeters, or 2.3 inches. The diameter from the longest side is 7.1 centimeters, or 2.9 inches. And the thickness, right across here, is 1.6 centimeters, or 0.75 inches. So almost 3/4 of an inch thick if you go by inches. The website doesn't state anything other than this being made out of stainless steel, but it is obvious when I pull the caps off that the caps are aluminum, but at least they feel aluminum, or they're some type of alloy. They're very, very light. They're not heavy like stainless steel. The bearing is an R188 bearing, and this bearing does not have a guide or a bearing cage in there. Hopefully you can see the light passing through there, and these bearings are free floating, which improves the spin time a bit, but it also means that there's going to be more, people call it crunchiness, I call it clickiness. The bearing's going to be bouncing around there more, and it's going to be a little bit more off balance when it spins, because the bearings may tend to float to one side or the other and just throw things off. And it's also going to increase the amount of wobble the spinner has when it floats back side to side, because the bearings don't have that extra bearing guide in there to keep them in line and keep them from floating around. So as you can see, that it does tend to wobble a little bit. It does have a fairly nice balance, though. It does not want to go back and forth a whole lot. You don't really feel that. But if you do try to spin it on one finger, let's see if I can get it up there, it does shake back and forth. And on occasion, it'll tend to want to lean to one side, and that may be the bearings all shifting to one side or getting close on one side. Now I want you to hear the sound of it. It is a fairly noisy spinner. You can hear that. It has one sound when you tap it vertically like this. You hear this clicking noise, and you'll hear it at the same time. It's sort of like the sound of an engine in the background. Kind of a calming sound to me. I like the way it sounded. It kind of would, that steady drone kind of made me want to go to sleep. So let me try it sideways. And I don't know if you can hear that, but completely horizontal, it doesn't make much noise. But when you start twisting it, all the gears and things start twisting around and floating against each other, and it does start increasing the amount of noise. So this is definitely not something you want to do in the classroom or in church, in the library, any place where you need silence. I mean, I wouldn't take this to the movies, that's for certain. You might annoy the people around you. But if you're standing in line for tickets, or if you're in the car where there's already road noise and stuff like that, no big deal. I think it'd be perfectly fine and just not cause anybody else any discomfort. So the like I was saying, this says this was made out of stainless steel, but I don't know, I just get the feeling that these gears may be brass. They look like they're brass, or they may be a electroplated, a brass color. It's hard to really tell without taking this thing apart, and you'd need a special tool, like a little Allen wrench, to take it apart, and I don't have one of those handy to do that, and I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to get it back together if I did. But at least when you take the caps off, you can get to the bearings fairly easy, and you can wash them out. And since it is all metal, you don't have to really worry about using acetone and possibly damaging any of the plastic parts. So you can use pretty much whatever you want to clean this out. Acetone, lighter fluid, old vodka, whatever. So I believe it has an electroplated matte black finish on it, because like I said, they did say the frame, they said the construction is stainless steel, so if it's a stainless steel under it, then it has an electroplated black matte finish. Overall, the construction is pretty good. There is a little bit more play in it than I would like. The gears tend to float back and forth. I think that could be a little bit tighter. The teeth don't fit perfectly, but in this kind of spinner, for the price you're paying, I think you're getting a lot for your money. At least I'm very satisfied with it. If I'd paid between $14 and $20 for it with free shipping, I think I would have got a good deal on it. I was kind of doing a little bit of research on the web, and it's very hard to find anybody who's currently selling a gear spinner, one of the higher end spinners, like from the original designers. And from what I can tell, they start at about $50 and go up from there. So I can't really put a price on it yet for an original design, because they're out of stock right now, from what I can see. Now the spin itself, it feels very, very smooth. I like the way it feels. I like the heaviness of it. Just I don't like the smallness of the pads. The pads do fit your fingers okay. My finger does not want to really sit in there deep enough for my comfort level. I tend to want to grab the spinner again, because I feel like it's going to come off my finger, but it has not come off my finger. It's just I would like a bigger finger pad. It would make me feel more comfortable spinning it. When it comes to fidgetability, if you can say that word 10 times, yeah, this is definitely, for me, a two-handed spinner. I would want to spin it like this, with using both hands, because doing it this way is rather painful. If you put your finger in there and catch those gears, it's going to rub on your cuticles, and it gets painful pretty quickly. The edges on the gears are not smooth and rounded over. If you manage to get your finger in there like this, if I can get my hand turned right, where my fingernail is touching the gears and not my cuticle, then it's okay. It will spin pretty decent. But it would take some training to get that. And also, trying to spin this vertically is not very easy, because this spinner is a longer spinner, so it is harder to bend my big long fingers and get it in there. So this is definitely a two-handed spinner. It is also definitely a really good table spinner. So it does do really well on the tables. I did do a timing test on it, and it came in just over 4 minutes for the time, and I'll be putting that screenshot somewhere along in here. So my thoughts on who would this be ideal for? This would be ideal for somebody who likes cutting edge spinners, who wants something that not a whole lot of other people are going to have just yet. My first thought was the crowd who were the steampunk crowd, who like gears and industrial type gadgets and jewelry and clothing. This would fit in right in with the steampunk theme, I believe. Might need to be roughed up a bit to make it steampunk completely, because I believe steampunk tends to go towards the older industrial look with rusted pipes but I guess if these gears are brass, in a few days it will get a patina, so it may age itself into steampunk in just a few weeks or shorter. So if you want to do kind of a wow effect on your friends, because I'm sure a lot of people have not seen a spinner that will have gears that will spin, all the gears will spin in person. So that's the kind of spinner this would be. If you're the kind of person who wants to do a lot of fidgeting though, with one finger or from the top, if you like to spin it like this, as you can see, it's not designed for that kind of use. It's just too big for that. especially if you have smaller hands. It's going to be almost impossible to spin from the top. I did like the spin strobe effect in the light, the multiple colors. I like the gold, black, silver, then black and gold again. That's pretty nice. So I wanted to show it to you from all angles there. Now I did play with this thing for a few hours earlier today and a few hours the other day because I couldn't help not opening the box up. I saw it and go, wow, my first gear spinner. So the spin time seems to be improving a bit. The smoothness seems to be improving a bit. So it's going through its break-in period and getting better. So that's my thoughts on the Pros. It is a nice spinner. I like the way it feels. It has a nice long spin time. The only real cons that I could come up with were the fact that it is heavy. It's hard to spin with one hand. The packaging could be better. I wish they hadn't put that barcode across the front of it because that's going to require some cleaning. And it did get kind of banged up. I don't know if you can see the dents in the can. I would have liked to have seen one of these little carrying cases included. That would have been nice. Or if they would have included, if they would have included a set of R188 hybrid ceramic bearings. I'm saying those being used more and more in spinners. So that would have improved the spin time quite a bit, I believe, without really increasing the cost a whole bunch. But I'm kind of used to carrying this around all the time now. I can carry my money on one side and my spinner on the other, or carry two spinners. So it comes in pretty handy. One of the cons I thought about this right away was if you carry it in your pocket. I mean, this can is going to be really too big to carry in your pocket. So if you slide this in your pocket, this thing may tear a hole in your pants pocket. So that's why I like having these cases like this. Also, it may scratch up. Like if you accidentally put it next to your phone, it may scratch up the screen. So just be careful about what you're carrying in your pocket at the same time as this, or just be sure and get a velvet carrying bag or one of these zippered little bags. And the final thing I guess I would really like to see in it would be to have less play in the gears like this. If it was tighter, altogether tighter all the way around the fit. It would have less wobble when it's being shaken and less noise, I believe. So this has not been the most freely flowing fidget spinner review I've done, but I have managed to stay on task better than in other videos. So I'm going to try to get better and better at this. And hopefully I'll get more constructive criticism and find out more things that you guys would like to see in my videos. This spinner is going to go into the spinner prize pile, so it is going to be given away. Not sure exactly when, because I do have a pile of spinners to give away now. I've got more and more coming in, so that means I got to crank out more and more videos. And still working on that goal of giving away 10,000 fidget spinners before the end of the year. I've had a few inquiries about how people could send me spinners, and so I've got some more on the way. They will be added to the treasure chest. And so when I'm doing giveaways, most likely I'm going to be throwing in several mystery spinners. They'll be in these cases like this, so because there are going to be so many of them, I cannot unzip every one of them and look at them to see exactly what's in there. So it'll be a surprise for you and me both for what comes with your spinner prize. So as always, if you like my videos, thumb them up. If you don't like them, thumb them down. Leave me a comment saying what you did or did not like. If you'd like to get a shout out for your channel or your name, please subscribe, turn on your notifications, and in the comments field down below, if you would please write that you had subbed and leave the hashtag notification squad or the hashtag notifications. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you later.